Alright, now we are going to look at other differences between pension scheme and EPF scheme. We can see that in pension scheme, it offers better medical benefits to the retiree, where once someone have a pension, he is entitled to medical benefits up to when he retire. And the cost of medical, which is 100% will be covered by the government for the retiree, for the spouse, for the parents, as well as for the children. Okay. Other than that, we can see that pension, it provides a monthly income stream. Okay, so the retiree will receive the money by monthly. Unlike the EPF, where they are going to receive the money in one lump sum. Okay, so there is a mismanagement. If someone they receive the money in one lump sum, they sometimes unable to manage the fund, and at the end of the day they may not be able to cover for the expenses once the money has been finished. They already spent the money. But in the case of pension, it is unlikely to be like that because they receive the money bit by bit, month by month. So there is a less risk for mismanagement in the case of pension. In regards to the retirement planning for government servant, alright, it is also similar to whatever that we have done in the EPF. Therefore, regardless of whether this is a government servant or the EPF member, still we have to follow the 6-step process that we already discussed in chapter 2, where we have to identify what will be the lump sum need, as well as we have to compare between the financial resources available for the retirement, and we have to identify if there is a retirement gap, then how we can actually fulfill the retirement gap. Alright, now we are going to look at the case of Matthew, alright, on how we are going to calculate for the retirement gap for Matthew. Matthew is a government servant, and we are going to read the question together, and I'm going to explain how you can actually get the answer. In order to start off our presentation, the first year annual income need of the retirees has to be ascertained. So as in this case, for illustration, let us assume that Matthew is age 30. Okay, so currently Matthew is age 30 and is drawing a monthly salary of 3,000 in a government department. So at the age 30 now, alright, the salary is 3,000 per month. This salary is expected to increase at an average rate of 5% per annum. We already know that the salary will increase year by year. Alright, so as in this case, it is expected that the rate of increment is about 5% until the retirement age, that is 55. So currently, he is 30. He will retire at the age of 55, means that he will have another 25 years to work on the saving or the preparation of the retirement. We also assume that he needs 65% of his last drawn salary. Okay, so what he need in the first year of retirement, the annual income that he need in the first year of retirement is 65% of his last drawn salary. Alright, and that amount, that 65% out of the last drawn salary, it is expected to increase for 4 years. For 4% during retirement. So every year there will be an inflation of 4%. So the annual income need is also increased by 4%. Matthew will park his retirement fund in the account that generate return of 5.5%. He is expected to live for another 30 years during retirement. So up to from now till retirement, there will be another 25 years. And once he retire, in the case of death, it is expected then during the retirement age, he will stay for another 30 years. So that is what we are expected. Okay. All right. Therefore, how we are going to identify the first year of annual income? This is the income per month times with 12 months times with the how we are going to consider the increment of the salary over 25 years times with 65% of the last drawn salary, then you can get this figure 79,241. This will be the income need for the first year. We have to identify the lump sum need based on the capital liquidation approach. So every year we understand that Matthew will need this figure. This is for the first year, and this figure will increase another 4% each year to cater for the inflation. So this is the formula that we are going to use. If you look back at the lump sum need based on the capital liquidation approach formula, so you fill up this formula. All right, this is 0.04 is actually referring to the growth. 1.055 is actually referring to 1 plus the rate of return, that is 5.5%. Okay, this is R, this is G, and if you solve this formula, then you can get 1946,360. Okay, this is a long formula. So once you want to solve for this, you have to use, you have to solve it bit by bit. You solve this part first, and after that this part, and after that only then you try to calculate the whole equation. Okay, now we know that the lump sum need based on the capital liquidation approach, where the inflation is 4% and the first annual income is 79,241, which means Matthew need one lump sum need as 1946,360. Now we are going to look at the value of the pension fund at the retirement age. Once Matthew reach this retirement age, what will be the value of pension fund that he has? Therefore 0.5. Okay, we understand that for the case of pension, they will only receive half of the salary, okay, times with, this is not 3,000 as in the textbook, but 36,000 because it is per year. Okay, as for per year is 36,000 times with 1.05 power of 25 times with, alright, so this is actually the formula given to you in the page 921. Okay, how to calculate for the value of the pension fund. Therefore, if you look at this formula and the formula in page 921, there's a slight difference, a small difference. But if you use that formula or this formula, you will get the same figure. Okay, the answer will be the same. If you look at the formula in page 921, there is a negative n over here. But this one is, but actually they are the same formula, and if you use both formula, you can get the same answer. Alright, I've already tried before and I can get this answer correctly. Alright, now once we understand, or once we get the value of the pension fund, that is 934,624, it is the time for us to identify what is the retirement gap. So this figure 1946,360 minus with 934,620, so we can get the retirement gap is 10,11740. Again, I would like to remind you, you have to solve this calculation bit by bit because it's a long equation. Okay, I've tried before in the first place, I was unable to get, but after trying, breaking down the figures, then you can get this answer correctly. So keep trying. Alright, so this is how we can verify the lump sum need that Matthew must have, that is 1.9 million. So with the annual income of 79,241 for the first year, and then it increased up to 4%, and the return that is 5.5, then you can see at the end of the 30th year, the money in the retirement fund is finished. Alright, at this point of time, we understand that there is a retirement gap of 10,11740 for Matthew, because the value of pension fund is lower than the lump sum need at the on the retirement, at the start of the retirement. Therefore, how we can help Matthew to fulfill this retirement gap of 10,11740? Okay, therefore, another things that we need to know is where for government servant, Okay, beside of they can get a pension, they will also receive a gratuity upon retirement. So the formula for gratuity is 7.5% times of the last drawn salary, 7.5% of the last drawn salary times 300, or number of completed months of the service, whichever is lower. Okay. So as for in the case of Matthew, we can calculate the retirement gratuity, 7.5% times with 300 months times with 300, that is the current salary times with the increment of the salary to get the last drawn salary. Okay, this is the calculation for last drawn salary. This is the 300 months because Matthew has been work for 25 years. If you look back at the case of Matthew, means that he actually fulfilled the 25 years or 300 months in order to get the 50% of the pension. Okay, so as in this case, the amount of gratuity that Matthew received is 228,579. Alright, so if I put it in a different calculation to make it clearer for you, we have to identify the last drawn salary. So how we can get the last drawn salary at the time when he is ready to retire, that is 3,000 times with 1.05 power of 25, then this is actually the last drawn salary for Matthew. So 70.5% for us to calculate the gratuity, divide with 100 times with the last drawn salary times with 300 months. So this is the amount of gratuity received by Matthew. Okay, therefore, as we already know that the retirement gap is 1011470, it is based on our calculation here. All right, now this is the retirement gap. If we minus the gratuity that Matthew received, then the remaining of the retirement gap is 782,891. Okay, 782,891. Therefore, as in the case where Matthew want to fill up the retirement gap by investing in the unit trust that will give a return of 7% over 25 years, how much is the monthly installment that Matthew have to pay in order to collect 782,891 another 25 years once he reached the retirement age? So if you go back to your calculator, and this because it is monthly, therefore n must be 325 years times 12. I is 0.58333, something that you have to remember, because in the case of monthly, the rate of return of 7% is for 1 year, therefore you have to divide with 12. Now become 0.58333, and the RV is 782,891. That will be the amount of the retirement gap that we want to fulfill. Therefore, the payment is equivalent to 961 monthly payment that Matthew have to pay in order to collect 782,891 for another 25 years. Alright, so this is the situation in the case of Matthew, where Matthew want to choose a financial instrument that offers 7% of the rate of return in order to collect 782,891 in the next 25 years. So the amount that Matthew have to pay is 961 based on our calculation just now. Alright, just now we already discussed about EPF, about pension, and this will be the third one that we are going to discuss. That is on the retirement annuity. What is retirement annuity? Retirement annuity is a series of cash flow paid to retirees at regular time interval. It is like a pension where the retiree will receive the money like by yearly or monthly. It has a specific income stream, okay, for the retiree to get by having or by engaging in the retirement annuity. How we can buy the annuity, how we can purchase the annuity? We can purchase whether using lump sum, or we can purchase annuity whether using regular payment, or we can use both single lump sum or regular payment. Alright, let's have a look at an example. As for the case 1, this is one of the very important calculation in this retirement annuity. Alright, for illustration, let us assume that we have an annuity products that pay monthly payment of 1,000 for 25 years and a final terminal value of 250,000 at the end of the 25 years. How much this product be priced if the monthly payment is to start 1 month from the date of lump sum payment? Okay, how much should be the price of the product if the first monthly payment is to start 1 month from the date of lump sum payment? So it is important for you to understand the annuity. Okay, so as in this case, the situation is where, alright, this is let's say we consider the timeline of annuity. Alright, annuity product pay monthly payment 1,000 for 25 years. Alright, so let's say the annuity has a range of 25 years. If you purchase this annuity, monthly 1,000, which means for the 1 year is 12,000. Alright, monthly 1,000. They will pay you this 1,000 per month for 25 years. And once it reaches maturity date or terminal value at the end of the 25 years, you can get a lump sum cash of 250,000. Okay, so the question here is, what is the value of the annuity? Okay, what is the value of the annuity? How much should this product be priced if first monthly payment is to start 1 month from the date of lump sum payment? Okay, so means that the payment will be made at the end. Okay, the payment for the 1K per month will be made at the end of the month. Alright, so as for this, the essence of the question is actually what is the value of the annuity. We understand this situation, the payment that will be made over 25 years period. Once we want to understand what will be the value of the annuity, of course it is actually referring to the present value of this annuity. Okay, present value of this annuity, because if we want to talk about the value of the annuity using future value, it is not make sense. But once we talk about what will be the price, which means what is the price now, because after this you will receive the monthly payment of 1,000 plus at the end of 25 years you can get a cash of 250,000. So what is actually the value of this instrument, a value of this investment that you want to buy now? What is the PV of this annuity now? Alright, so in order for us to calculate for this, we have to use the formula. Alright, we have to use the formula. This is the formula that we have to follow for us to get the PV of the annuity. Okay, so as in this case, we have to understand there will be two parts. The first one is on the 1,000 per month. That is something, the first calculation that you have to get in order to get the PV of 1,000 per month over 25 years. The second is the present value of 250,000. So there will be two separate calculations for this. As you can see here in this calculation, is actually this calculation focusing on the 1,000 payment per month, how you can calculate the PV, and the second part of the calculation is the PV for 250,000 per month. So if you follow this formula, you will get this figure. Okay, this is for A, that is the 1,000, okay, 1,000 per month over 25 years. Then the PV is 171060. And as for the future value of the 250,000, if you bring back to the present value, then over 25 years, then you can get the figure is 71,812. Right. So this is the calculation if you use the formula. But if you use the financial calculator, it will be much easier. All right. So this is A, calculation for A, you refer to this A. This is the calculation for B, you refer to this B. Okay. Therefore, because both case, you know, the payment will be made at the end. You have to remember the first month is to start 1 month from the date of lump sum payment. So let's say you make a payment of lump sum at the beginning of the month. 1 month means that they will be paid at the end of the term. Therefore, as for the case of first case, the payment will be made at the end. So set is N. You go to CMPD, set is N. N is 300 because it's a monthly payment. All right. The I is 5% as given in the all right. So is as in this information, the return is 5%. Therefore, 5% divided with 12, you can get 0.4166. Payment is negative 1,000. So the PV is 171073. Okay, so it is actually referring to this calculation. Again, if if there is a very small differences between the calculation using formula and the calculator, it is acceptable. Very small differences. All right, the second part is for you to calculate the the PV for the 250,000. Okay, this 250,000, you're going to calculate it back to the PV. Then, because this will be made, okay, 250,000 will be made at the end of the 25 years. So again, the set is N. All right, so this is the figure you have to fill up in your financial calculator. All right, so the FV is 250,000. The PV soft is 71826. Okay, so the total is this number, which means for you to buy the annuity that will give this benefit, that will give you a monthly payment of 1,000 over 25 years, plus with 250,000 at the end of the 25 years, you need a lump sum. Now, if you want to buy it now, the price of the annuity is 242,872. Okay, the price is 242,872.